Right. Let's patrol and take out some ruins. So these level 1 lads that we've hired are pretty much only going to fight if we can find a roving band of something not too difficult. We're also going to put a spending freeze in place now until we're at 10,000 gold. Let's see, undead, name chance 7%. Oh, hello. Hello, lads. For this, we can get the low-level boys in. Bannerman can actually sit this one out, the sergeant. We'll handle the banner this time. Lelouch, you're gonna fight. Sealand can sit this one out. Now we just need 2 pole arms. Lelouch has nimble, so he's safe enough if he's in that position. David Einhardt, I mean, Lelouch, you're a torturer. You know what you can actually use? Use your cleaver. In that position if you need to. And we've got Rymar, the 2 new lads. And this is mostly undead, so spears, shields can be secondary. Let's get the extra damage boost. There are some fallen heroes, but my thrown weapon specialist lads should be able to take care of them. Got a mace specialist there, we've got banner, we've got lots of armor destruction in these warhammers. Throwing axes, throwing axes, throwing axes. I need to get to a training hall to train these low-level boys. Power level them. I'm so grateful for the increased speed mod for these big battles. Doesn't look too bad. So there's 3 fallen heroes, 2 of which have tier 2 weapons, so that could have been a lot worse. Hold. Chris Oaken Shield. See if you can't hit any of the fallen heroes with those throwing weapons of yours. Crunch. Okay, good. That lad's exposed himself, so that's who the throwing weapons need to target. He's actually the biggest threat on the field right now. Why is it so freaking satisfying when you use a blunt weapon? That thunk. what? Nice! Double kill, Lord Nasty. Good lad. Oh, you fuck. Ads. Oh! Samo with a casual decapitation. I must get overconfident, but I feel so strong now that I don't even mind allowing them in. I don't even bother with a spear wall. Certainly aren't screwing around, you can say that again. But I feel like it's the power of the two-handed weapons. The lads are so strong. Fuck it, just Belush, get in there. In fact, at this point we can probably stop using ranged weapons and just save the ammo. The old hungover zombies. Ooh. I'm enjoying being at this phase of the game so much. It has taken so long and we've struggled so hard to get the lads this powerful. We're not there yet though, we've still got some growing and improving to do because we've got like a bunch of high level lads. But they still need to be leveled and we need better armor and weapons. That being said, it's going to take fucking forever to get all the noble mail that I want. Being that noble mail is so hard to find. We need to start taking escort missions whenever we can, especially if it's an escort mission that takes us to a city that has a weapon master. Or an armor smith. That's our best chance of getting those high impact items. On one of my offline campaigns, I did an escort mission, which supplied a city that had an armor and a weaponsmith, and there were 3 legendary items. There was even a legendary light helm for only 3,000 gold. I couldn't believe it. God, Trevor Belmont's fucking badass. Rum the Reaper and Sachubrak, the 2 new lads. You boys are going to fit in just fine around here. Double XP for killing a zombie again. Thought about this a long time ago. I think the answer is no. I think you only get XP for the initial knockdown. Beautifully done, boys. Very, very well done. Now we can go back to our strongest team that we can field. Archer, Ninja. Archer in the middle. Crossbowman in the middle. The other Ninja will go there, but he's not going to be in this fight. I think we put the two... Yep, you lads back in. Shield breakers. And this fight could have a lot of undead in it. Could have geists. I think the holy water is in order. And then my Bannerman needs to be in this fight then. Where is he? Bannerman. So someone here has to sit out. Probably, yep. Emerator. Shieldbreaker goes there. Bannerman comes in here. Where's my legendary flail? There it is. I still think I might actually want to switch up in Enderion though. I don't think he has the melee skill to be able to use a flail. I'm considering making him a pole arm or a spear master. Probably spear, because then he can use the spetum from the back line and then a fighting spear up close if he needs to. We'll camp a little bit until we are healed up though. I'll think of that pun. Boo. Boo that pun. Are those fresh tracks? No, these are the tracks of the ones we just took out. Brigand Hunters, no thanks. That is a fucking... That would be a nightmare to fight that. We don't want to fight that. That'll suck. Looks like everybody is fully healed up. Right, looks like pretty much the same. Send up the Falcon. Because if it's going to be just zombies, fallen heroes, and Nachtears, that's fine. Big question is there a necromancer? And no, there is not. Okay, so let's move to this line here. Oops, that was wrong. Okay, so him, space, then Ruskar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. It's up again completely. Well, we've got time to fix the setup. As long as my torturer can use his whip on that, we should be good. So George Warhammer goes back to that position. So Ruskar goes there. Everyone then goes one place up. No, space him there. Whip. Axie. Go there. shoot that Nocta? I don't think so. Let them approach. Let them get closer. Cool, so that will be in contact on the next turn. Hold. Shit, see, I shouldn't have dropped that zombie. That Nocta is gonna feed. Silly, silly, silly. Is this fucking amateur hour or what? Keep softening these nerds up. Venom and Shield Breaker, so Silius Sodus moves in there, we'll leave that space open. I don't think so, no. I believe when the feed happens, then the body and everything else gets destroyed. The weapon doesn't get destroyed though, clearly. Wait for it, Sealant. I don't want to drop any of these zombies yet. Let them come closer. Let them come. Whoopsie. Let's click. Would nasty with the throwing weapons. You can actually go to work here now. Owie. A little scary, but at least he surrounded himself, so that works for us. And I do have my sergeant there to raise morale. Throwing weapon time. Oopsie. Silius Sodus, go to your big old mace. Good hit. I mean, they are going to feed, but I kind of feel like, who cares? I mean, so powerful right now. Look at that. That one's got to get taken out, though. That's a problem. Nice double kill. What? Come on. Ah! So close. Nibbling zombie. just got the feed off, but at least he's still breaking. There is that. And now he's fleeing. Excellent. Excellent, yes. I didn't count how many heads we had, but I'm pretty damn confident that we're going to have enough to go turn in this patrol mission. Oh, didn't even... Whoops. Nice, I managed to stun him. I believe once he hits level 3 Nachtseer form, then he can't be stunned. Oh, triple kill for Ruskar. Plus 15 melee defense, up to 43. You don't see a triple kill like that too often. No, it's great that he was able to land that hit even with his low morale. I like how at this point Sealand and Lord Nasty are like kind of competing to see who can be the best archer. Well, best ninja, I should say. Not archer, ninja. I forget when it was that the patch was that the game was patched so that throwing weapons were made more useful, but I love the fact that they did that. It's changed the game so much for the better. God, this is Ruskar with that warhammer. I mean, if anyone's going to do that, it'll be Ruskar. That two-handed warhammer is the most incredible weapon I've ever seen in 1600 hours of playing the game. I've never seen anything like it. What's up, Mardon? Nah, we'll be fine. I mean, he gets to feed now, but he's pretty... We can hit him with Creeper Jack and Eric the Red, so... That fallen hero is going to go down. Taunting, I hope, will stop him from using his feed ability. I'm pretty sure it will stop him from feeding. Taunt, I think, means that you can only use attacks. You can't use any abilities. Let's find out. Indeed, Martin, looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Okay, so that confirms you then won't use the feed action if you use taunt. swallowed. Off with the head. I didn't even see that guy was back. What a nerd. Yep, fallen heroes can. I don't think zombies can, but fallen heroes can. Well done, boys. Oh, that's actually a fair amount of money as well. That's like 3,000 gold worth of loot there. And another great axe. And another fighting axe. We are so set up now to be shrat hunters. With the amount of axes we have, we fear no shrat. Okay, my bannerman. Range defense. Fatigue is not bad. Let's up his melee skill. Level 8 archer. Let's go for initiative, I think. I want both of my archers to have overwhelm. Go to the build document. Dedicated archer. Student, yes. Fast adaptation, no. Quick hands. Yes. Bow mastery, anticipation. If needed. I think he needs anticipation. Yes, that means then I can leave his range defense at 20 with anticipation. I think if you don't have anticipation, you need to get your guy up to about 30 range defense. Be reasonably safe. Very nice. In case he gets caught out, he can go to, let's say, a dagger of some sort. You need more sidearms here. Need more daggers. If I could give him a fighting axe, why not? We've got so many of the bloody things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 two-handed. Also, the whole front line can use the two-handed axes when we shrat fighting. Pretty much modern. Ent hunters. I feel like Ents are the good tree men, whereas shrat are the evil tree men. That's my canon, at least. 930, that's below cost price. We won't take that. Keep grinding, lads. We've got a lot more money to make. This is a fight against a witch. Doesn't pay very well, but fighting the witches, they give excellent crafting materials. Like those apples and the herbs are really good. Treemen and Blood Bowl. I think if you're playing as wood elves, then they Ents. If you're playing against them, they shrat. On 1. Oh yeah, that's above cost. We'll take that. Nice. You know what? Why don't we just get rid of the heavy rusty axes? And I've actually got spare fighting axes. It's fucking bonkers. To think that I have a fighting axe and it qualifies as junk. Is there a training hall in the south? Wonder. Actually, don't think so. I think there's only training hall is up in the north. Fortunately, we are pretty much persona non grata up in the north. More undead. More levels for the low level boys. 102 and 106. Maybe that is the way to do it, so that they both have more or less the same resolve. 90 compared to 118. 112. 102. I think I like this setup. What have we got here? Just a couple of Nachters, armored Wiedergangers. Geists are the only issue. We'll leave Sealand out. And who else? Eric the Red. I do want David Ironheart fighting there. Sparrow 4. David Ironheart, get in there. Lelouch and Umberman need to fight as well, but maybe this is now getting a little bit too low level. But man, only a level 1. That'll be a while before we start leveling him. But Lelouch, you can fight here. He doesn't have weapon specialization yet. No. So this time we're going to make sure that we don't repeat the same mistake we made in the battle with Geists where Forrest the Roman died. And the crucial mistake I made there was thinking that just because I have a sergeant on one end and a bannerman at the other end of the battle, I don't have to rearrange them. Because in that fight what happened was you had 6 Geists, 1 went to the north and 5 went to the south. And the southern part of the formation was where the sergeant was, and the sergeant is obviously weaker at raising morale than the bannerman. So as soon as I saw which side the Geists were committing to, I should have rearranged bannerman and the sergeant. Although the setup I've done now is they both have more or less the same morale, so maybe that's already the baked-in solution, and now I don't have to shuffle the lads around. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say that's what I intended to do, just because it makes me sound smarter. Hold the line, boys. Here they come. Indeed, the crystalline. That reminds me of playing Doom, the original Doom game. When as your guy got more injured, your little portrait would get like more bloody. Like when you're just about dead, like your skin's hanging off, and you're like, ah. Was so cool. It's crazy. It's like looking at old games. I was watching a highlights thing of Counter-Strike. Of Counter-Strike 1.6, and like I can't believe I used to play that, because like you look at the highlight of it and I'm like, I can hardly see what's happening because the resolution is so low. Like, what am I looking at? It's crazy what your mind can get used to. That super low resolution when like the little character you're aiming at is like 1 pixel. Remember playing 1.6 on Aztec. Good memories. I kind of wish I didn't have to put up with almost 200 milliseconds delay. I could play some Counter-Strike. There are technically South African Counter-Strike servers, but there's so few guys who play that there either is no ranked, or like even if you start from the beginning, you're playing with like AK guys right from the start, and it's just no fun. You just get absolutely murdered. Screens were smaller, that's true. And also the one thing I saw from watching that highlights, it's like that shows this bigger LAN, so it's everybody in a hall, and all you see is CRT monitors that are like fucking. Remember those old 19-inch CRT monitors? They weighed like 20 kilograms, and that gets so fucking hot, like heat up your whole room. Ah, the good old days. I don't miss the CRT monitors. Flat screens are just, oh, it's such a great piece of technology. You have an old Windows 95 machine? Good lord, man. Is it an admin server of some kind, or I assume you're not using it for funsies? When I worked for one of the major banks in the UK, I was so shocked to find out what software they're using. But then when the IT guy explained that in a lot of ways it's safer because there's only like, you know, half a dozen people in the whole of the UK that can still operate that software. So it's effectively almost impossible to hack because almost no one can even use that software. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Old games and emulators, like some of the old Warhammer games. Like, I consider myself a Warhammer fan, but I've never really played anything before Dawn of War 1. Come the screams, be brave men. Well done, boys. 3 screams, 0 guys broke. I love Warhammers. Well, that's funny, Modern. You say that. I mean, I thought maybe isn't it, you know, because the cost of upgrading to the newer tech, you know, for a major national bank would be probably in the hundreds of millions, maybe even hitting billions. But honestly, it makes a lot of sense to me. You know, if the software is so old and so niche, like literally, like within developer circles, who was saying there's like a dozen people, half a dozen people in the whole of the UK who can still, you know, speak that language. I mean, how's it going to get hacked? I suppose if you really wanted to, you could just find out what it is and learn how to use that particular code or, you know, software. But I don't know how you would learn it unless it's, you know, getting taught to you by one of the 12 people who can use it. Oh wow, sounds epic, Crystalon. But the thing is, unfortunately, I'm such a filthy casual when it comes to a lot of games. Like, I can't handle bad graphics. I cannot take it. I remember, like, with MOBAs, I started playing League of Legends, and it caught me hook, line, and sinker. Fuck, I love League of Legends. It still holds a special place in my heart. I remember playing Blitzcrank, and then the most fun my friend and I had, he would play, what's the bull character? I forgot what he was called. The guy who would knock you up and then ram you back. We would play that bull guy with me on Blitzcrank in a lane together. It was dreadful. It'd never win. But occasionally, like in the early game, I'll grab someone with the arm, and then he knocks them in the air and knocks them back behind the tower. God, it was so much fun. Oh. But so onto my point about not being able to handle shitty graphics. And I love League of Legends, and I appreciate it for what it is, and it is good in its own way. But then I started playing Heroes of New Earth, and that just had, to my mind, objectively better graphics. Alistair, thank you. objectively better graphics than League. Not right now, because League has been updated. I don't want to open up the whole, what has better graphics, League or Dota, because that's a stupid argument, because Dota has better graphics. Oh, but League has an art style. Like, art style is not a plaster you should be putting over pixel counts and particle effects and quality of animations and that type of stuff. Anyway, I digress. I'm taking such a scenic route on the point I was making. Played League of Legends first, then I discovered Heroes of New Earth. Cool, that has better graphics, and I abandoned League, went straight to Hon. Then I discovered Dota 2, I'm like, oh, this has better graphics, and I just stuck with Dota 2. And then when Paragon came out, Paragon, my heart. It's the most beautiful game I've ever played. And fuck you, Epic, for abandoning Paragon. Paragon. So I can't wait for the remakes of Paragon to come out. I know there are some companies that are making Paragon remakes. I hope they're going to be good. But they're on level 10 for the Sergeant. Yeah, I've got like 100 odd hours on Heroes of the Storm, but I know how horrible I'm going to sound now. Like, oh, I'm too good to play Heroes of the Storm. But the thing is, having put like 3,000 hours into Dota, and there was a good 2 or 3 year period where that was all I played. I was never any good. The highest I got was like 3.6k, which is fucking garbage. But I think it's enough to know what it takes to become good at Dota, and mechanically and technically and on almost every level, Heroes of the Storm just doesn't come close to the complexity of Dota, and I know that's by design, and I think they very cleverly designed the game that way to take up the particular niche in the market for. And look, there's nothing wrong with people saying, I love playing MOBAs, but I just don't have the time or the inclination to get good enough at Dota, and I fully respect that. But the thing is, like, if I play a MOBA, I want to play Dota, and I want to play the best I can. So once I was about 80 hours into Heroes of the Storm, I started realizing, I'd win a few, I'd lose a few, but I was just bored. For every minute of the game, I was just bored. The team fights can be a bit interesting, but you don't have to worry about dewarding, you don't have to worry about last hitting, you don't have to worry about denying, creep pulling, denying the enemy carry, counter picking, the drafting phase. It's there, but it's just, it feels like half. Okay, as good as Heroes of the Storm is, it's half the MOBA experience that I want to have. And maybe later on in life, when I don't feel like putting effort into Dota, then I'll move over to Heroes of the Storm. But it also has that graphical issue. I'm not crazy about the graphics either. Right, Landarion. With this melee skill. That's a good point, Martin. Look, I'm very glad Heroes of the Storm exists. Like, if I ever one day get a girlfriend that I can, play video games with, and like, I think it's very nice to introduce girls or anyone who hasn't really had haven't grown up with games and that incredibly intense competitive. It's a bit more forgiving, because like I read an article that was linked to by Sing Sing on the Twitter where he said he has a screenshot of like a new player friend who in their first 30 games of Dota they went 1-29 in their first 30 games. Like, how the fuck is any new player supposed to learn Dota? It's just miserable. It's just smurfs and toxic people, and you're getting screamed at. I don't know how you're supposed to learn. I think the only way new players come into Dota is if they get grandfathered in with an experienced person who plays with them and just tells them all these things. Here's what you do, here's how you go, lane with me, I'll look after you. I know that person's telling you to die and have your whole family killed and he's going to rape your corpse. Just ignore that guy. Jeez, like... Oh, MOBAs. Wow, that was a interesting discussion. So in Endarion, our sergeant, we can give him 3 more skills. Ugh. He's a sergeant, so his resolve is as high as we can get it with perks. 70 melee skill, I think, is borderline high enough that I can justify giving him Berserk. I think Berserk will proc sometimes. The big decision now that I have to make is what weapon specialization I'm going to give him. I mean, I was tempted to give him flail specialization just because of Bitter Spanker, but it's just been wholly underwhelming. even if it's in a duelist setup or with the double grip, 31 to 68 is pretty underwhelming. He's heavy armor, so he's not going to have the range to use a crossbow. I'm legit tempted to go spear mastery so that he can use a sputum from the back line and a fighting spear from the front line when he has to rotate someone out. So let's say 3 more skills. Let's say rotation, spear mastery, and berserk. I think that's probably the best percentage play. Let's go rotation, and then 11 will go spear mastery and berserk. Did I hire another archer? Another ninja. Okay, the ninja will use that. Just to make sure yeah, both my archers are using mail coifs. I need to buy another closed mail. Yeah, Overwatch was fun for me as well, but because I didn't have enough group of people that I could play with regularly enough, I got bored of that quite quick. My favorite was Zenyatta. Zenyatta, I think, is an awesome support. It's so cool being able to counter an enemy ultimate that's like ruining your team. And the big buff Russian lady, she was freaking awesome. Loved her. I remember when I did play a bit with my friends, I would combine the big Russian lady, and then my friend would play the cowboy. And then I would charge up, we'd use our ultimates together just to squad wipe an enemy team. It's so satisfying. When you catch the entire enemy team in the black hole, and you just hear, it's high noon, and then pa 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 pa. Squad wipe. Fuck, it was cool. And then the only other time I had a good play in Overwatch, I was playing Diva. And that almost happened to us. The enemy squad caught us with the black hole, and then the rocket lady, the Egyptian rocket lady did her ult, but then I used my freaking defensive field thing. So all of her rockets, or most of them coming down, I would just go poof, 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 and I just mostly nullified her entire ultimate. Like, it's so satisfying hearing your whole team go, oh my god, what a play, you're a god! And you're like, oh, I know. Bara, yeah. Of the tanks, I enjoyed the Monkey Man the most. Oh, Caper Beast! Meet the casual, walk up, headshot with a fighting axe. There's very little that can survive that. If you don't wear a helmet and you get a headshot with a fighting axe, you're gonna die. Egyptian rocket lady, but you knew exactly what I was talking about, didn't you? Winston, yeah. Mostly I started using Winston because I got so, oh god, it makes me cross thinking about it. That horrible ninja piece of shit, and then Tracer. What's the ninja dude again? Anyway, Tracer and the ninja were just the worst, but I always felt that Winston was the best counter to them. Because you just stick to them with your electricity. It's one of the most satisfying games I ever had where... fuck man, what's the ninja guy called again? Enshi? No. Anyway. My team was getting ruined by the ninja dude, Genji and Tracer. And I just switched to Winston, and eventually the enemy dudes were, those two were flaming me. Oh, fucking Winston noob, lame noob. But they ended up having to switch off those characters because I was countering them so much. But I only have like 100 hours in Overwatch. I should give it a try. Maybe it's playable with like 180 lag. I doubt it though. This is the problem with playing in South Africa. What I really want is to be able to play Mordhau. Should look into it, because I know there are South African Mordhau servers. But the thing is, if I'm going to play Mordhau, then I have to resolve to become like the best Mordhau player on the South African servers, because it's that same problem that I have with Counter-Strike. It's such a small player pool. You play against nothing but, you know, incredibly good expert players. Genji was the worst. Zip, zap, ninja stars. Where is he? Where is he? I'm dead. Fuck. I want to play more now just because I played a chivalry a fair amount. Loved it. Watching some of my favorite streamers playing Mordhau, and I laughed so much. There was one guy playing who was quite good, you could see, but he was just like, he's basically a peasant wearing sackcloth, and he's just got a frying pan in this hand, and then frying pans on each side of him, and then he just throws the frying pan, and then goes in melee with the frying pan. It's just so cool. But I would probably build a light raider type character with just mostly throwing weapons, and then a fast one-handed weapon. I think I'm gonna enjoy Mordhau more than Chivalry, because I hated Chivalry because once you started getting good at it, really it was like everybody would just take the fast, dodgy little character because it was objectively better than all of the other ones. Boo, Crystalon, boo! Well played, boys. Good XP. So, Hilholm, if you're talking about the sword fighting nuances, I would recommend just go to YouTube and just go Mordhau tutorial and just okay. Hang on, let me rephrase. Let's put it this way. When I started playing Chivalry, the first 20 hours were incredibly frustrating, and I wasn't learning, and I wasn't growing with my skill, and I was just getting pissed off. And it occurred to me that I would just jump in and start playing. But what changed for me was, if I said to myself, okay, cool, I got 2 hours to play Mordhau, I will spend 30 minutes of the first 2 hour play session literally practicing. Because it occurred to me that, like, if I play cricket, you play a game on Saturday, and then you have 2 days during the week where you practice. And I should apply the same thinking even to Dota as well. Like, you know, if I'm going to play for a few hours, just spend, like, the difference it makes. Let's take Dota as an example. Try this, like, the next time before you play, just spend 10 minutes practicing last hitting on the last hitting trainer. The difference between going into a game cold and having 10 minutes of last hitting practice behind you when you hit the landing stage is unreal. And the same thing applies to those type of fighting games. Just practicing blocking and delaying your swings, and practice all the techniques you have to do, and then jump into a game. Well, listen, you lads, you heard it here first. If Mountain Blade gets released in this century, I am going to play the ever-living fuck out of that game. God, I can't wait. If I'm alive when it gets released, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to play that game so much. Excuse me, did I say when it gets released? I meant if it gets released. This dude could actually be usable. He's got loads of initiative and fatigue, so he could actually be quite dodgy. Rocket League. I played a bit of Rocket League, and that also occurred to me as it's one of those games where it's not one of those. It's the last thing from being a casual game. It's not a casual game. It's not a drop in, drop out game. So this is our light dagger dude. Wait, hang on. What was that other new guy that we bought? I've already got a dagger specialist. I don't need this lad. Maybe we just keep him as a backup torturer, but I don't need to keep... I'm not going to keep him around. That was a waste. My experience of playing Rocket League was... It occurred to me that I'd played 4 games and hadn't touched the ball. And then I was like, it's so frustrating. Fuck this. Yeah, Mountain Blade, and then what's that space going game? That's never going to get released. The one with all the backers, and now they're charging like a few $1,000s just to get a skin for a spaceship. That's a scam at this point, I think. Star Citizen. Marauding Greenskins. This will be a good payday. Oh fuck yes, let's do this. Cheers, boys. Hidden away off the road, on the hills, away northeast. Foresters' hideouts, dead, northeast. Grotnum, where's Grotnum? Whoa, that is feckin' far. We'll head to Dunnenberg and we'll take a ship. They've released 2 billion, wow. They will never release, it's too lucrative to keep it in EA. What do you mean? Oh, early access, I thought you meant EA. EA, the horrible developers. I don't know, like, I mean, maybe I'm just gullible, but I don't believe that any people are that unethical. It's flat out unethical to be like that. And I mean, if you're a game developer, you do want to develop a game, you do want it to come out. I mean, I can see how it's suffering from feature bloat, and they're also promising way too much. But I can't imagine that there's anyone over there who doesn't want the game to get released. I just don't buy that. Well, EA as in, you know, worst game developer in the world, and EA as in early access are equally horrible. They're both a blight on the gaming industry. Like, it's funny, I have for many years maintained a policy of don't pre-order and don't get into early access. But now that I'm trying to be a streamer and trying to grow on YouTube, you know, I have to get in early to be able to get my content out. Like now, with Phoenix Point, that's the next game I'm going to go very hard at. That's released on 2nd of September. If there's any way I could get my hands on it before then, I absolutely would. Okay, so Orc, Young, and Berserkers. We can actually have our low-level boys do this fight because there aren't any enemy types here that can push into the back lines. But is it too greedy? I think it's too greedy to get these level 2s into this fight. That's just asking for trouble. Like, David Ironheart can be in this fight, that's fine. Lelouch the Eye can also be in this fight, but let's make sure we have Sealand. Eric the Red, Cassilia Sodus we want as well. And the thing is, though, I don't like the fact that I'm seeing, like, I saw this on Reddit the other day. I was reading up on Cyberpunk 2077, and someone was saying, I'm going to pre-order the shit out of this game. A part of me is like, fuck yes. CD Projekt Red is a developer that I trust completely. I will absolutely early access one of their games and pre-purchase that game because they've earned it. But another part of me says, no, fuck it. On principle, you shouldn't be early access buying any game ever under any circumstances. If it's good, if it's going to be good, it'll be good when it's out. Why send the money until you've seen it? What bitrate did you encode at? I don't think it makes a difference for YouTube. I can check my recording settings. Video. I think it's 1080p. Recording. Standard type MP4. I'm pretty sure it's MP4. Well, honestly, I'm looking at my YouTube recordings because what's happening now, like I'm live streaming now and I'm simultaneously recording. When I access one of my YouTube videos, one of the quality options is 1080-60, I think, is it? Take a little look. This is very exciting viewing now. Anyway, for you guys watching on YouTube, it's almost an hour. I'm going to stop this video here and then we'll do this big orc battle.